What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about cancel culture, which is a complete surprise. I've never talked about something like that before, obviously, but this is so stupid, man. I know we've talked about some pretty obviously stupid instances, I guess, of people trying to cancel other people for absolutely ridiculous things, but this might be the legitimately most dumb thing I've ever seen. I don't even understand, like, why this was an issue, why this was even brought up. I don't really know, but this stuff is going too far, man. Like, I understand how cancel culture can be used in good ways. I really do, right? Before we get any further into the video, I just want to say that nearly half of you watching have yet to subscribe. I try to post multiple videos per day to keep you entertained, so consider leaving a like to help support and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss anything. Also, all of my socials are on the screen right now, so consider leaving a follow on these for more awesome content, and also consider grabbing a shirt if you're really awesome. Now to the rest of the video. And I know that from some of my videos it might seem like I'm like strictly anti-cancel culture. That's not even necessarily the truth. I mean, there are obviously some instances in which canceling people can be good. I mean, you look at a situation like somebody doing something extremely wrong or like extremely foul, like really breaking the law, doing something crazy. That makes sense, right? But people on the internet like to cancel people for stupid things, for stuff that happened 4 years ago, people saying something 5 years ago, for being on stream with somebody 2 years ago, for a video they made 6 years ago. It never is anything that actually is really significant. It's just a way of them, I would say, validating themselves because they have no way of doing it in the real world. I think that a lot of the times these people who go around canceling other people are just sad, pathetic, and pitiful human beings who lack any sort of affection or love in the real world, and they get it by bullying people online and trying to ruin things going on for them in their lives. They want to ruin their sources of income and their livelihoods because their lives suck, and they can't stand to see somebody else happy because that person did something questionable however long ago, right? So this situation today is revolving around @HonkKarl, aka Karl, who was canceled by people on Twitter over perhaps the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Ice Poseidon before. He was at one time one of the biggest Twitch streamers. He did a lot of like IRL streaming, right? He would go to these places and he would stream and whatnot, and he was actually known for having a really like toxic fan base. And he made a lot of like questionable jokes and stuff on stream, which is, I guess, a big reason why I guess this whole thing kind of happened. He'd make like, you know, some racially charged jokes, I guess some like homophobic jokes at times, things like that, right? He'd make some edgy jokes, is to say the least, right? And his audience, you know, was known for being very toxic. They even would go as far as like swatting and doxing and things like that. And it actually got so bad, I'm pretty sure Ice Poseidon even got banned off Twitch because of it. And so that was kind of like everything that happened around that. But then Karl kind of got caught up in all this. And people on Twitter like went on a fucking rampage, I guess, over the last few days, canceling a bunch of people who had appeared in streams with Ice Poseidon. Because they had nothing better to do. So they just went like one by one and were trying to cancel people. And the thing about canceling on the internet is everyone always like apologizes to these people. And that's exactly what Karl did. So I'm going to read his apology here. After my stream the other day, I felt like I wasn't able to express how I felt correctly and that it wasn't the best format for me to respond in, so I wanted to make a formal apology here where I can more explicitly express myself in an organized format. That way I can make sure that I say the things that I want the right way. Since then, I've taken the time to educate myself and do the best to hear people's concerns. Recently, some people have come forward with discomfort about me being in a stream with an old Twitch streamer, Ice Poseidon, from a few years ago. This is a completely justified concern because Ice Poseidon made very controversial, offensive, and all types of content that I absolutely don't support. Ice Poseidon for a long time was one of the largest people on Twitch, and back then, I was genuinely someone that looked at Twitch as my clear passion in life, so I followed and watched everyone that was at the top of Twitch. I know that a lot of them definitely weren't good people or aren't now, and I should have been more conscious of that in the past. I understand that is absolutely from a place of privilege, which is something I've actively learned from. I'm going to skip this next paragraph because it's not really that important, I don't think. I also wanted to talk about a clip of me on Miskiv's stream explaining why I'd been seen in Miskiv's chat log saying CX, a refer to Ice Poseidon, much more recently than any time I'd watched Ice Poseidon's content. In the clip, I explained that I was probably typing it in a way to reference when a video game character on the screen had a large nose. When Ice Poseidon used to be one of the biggest streamers, other streamers jokingly picked on him for having a larger nose. I didn't realize this could come across in any way as racially charged or charged as any form as anti-Semitism, as I just used it as a joke about Ice Poseidon. I've been educated recently on why this could be hurtful to Jewish people, and that was never my intention, so I'm very sorry. Blah, 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 I'm very sorry. Karl. Now, this apology is a bunch of fucking bullshit, if I'm being honest with you. It's very fucking stupid, and it never should have been put out. First and foremost, when you're being canceled online, apologizing is the last thing you really should do, because all it does is fuel these fucking losers even more. When they cancel you, they expect you to apologize. They expect you to bow your knee to them and kiss their fucking feet and tell them anything that they want to hear to make them feel good, because that's what everybody does. Everybody makes these losers feel validated, and I don't understand why, because we've seen the same song and dance for years now. We've seen it happen hundreds if not thousands of times, and we see the same results. And these pitiful fucking assholes will just move on to the next person. It never fixes anything when you apologize. So why apologize to them, okay? What sense does it make to apologize to people who aren't going to accept it in the fucking first place? And also, why are you apologizing when you did nothing wrong? First and foremost, you did nothing wrong by being in a stream with Ice Poseidon. Just because he did something toxic, just because he said some shit that was fucked up, just because he made some edgy jokes in the past, doesn't mean you need to apologize for his behavior, okay? Doesn't mean you need to apologize for being around him. Do I need to apologize because I walked into a McDonald's 3 weeks ago and the guy who was standing in front of me might have said some racist shit 10 years ago? No, that's fucking stupid. Why does everyone have to be responsible for other people's actions? Why does he have to apologize because he merely was in a live stream on the internet with someone who did something that you deem wrong? That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard. Like, it doesn't logically even compute, right? Like, what sense does that make? And then in your apology here, you basically just tell everybody, right, that like, yeah, I was basically just hanging around Ice Poseidon because he was one of the biggest people on Twitch, and like I really wanted to do Twitch for a living, you know, like I genuinely, you know, had a passion for it, and I really loved doing it. And I don't support what he did, but I was around him because he was one of the biggest people on the platform. So you basically were making yourself look like a clout whore when you said that. Like, that was the worst thing you really could have said there. I'm sorry to tell you that, but once again, cowering down to these people helps nothing. Like, you're not benefiting yourself or anyone else by doing this. And then the whole nose thing, right? Like, yeah, I understand that people make fun of Jewish people apparently for having big noses. Like, that's like an anti-Semitic, like, racial joke or whatever that people make. But, like, I don't even... Is Ice Poseidon Jewish? Like, I don't know. I mean, does Ice Poseidon care at the end of the day? Like, in all reality, is Ice Poseidon sitting there like, man, everyone's making fun of my nose? Like, realistically, this is just people online getting offended on behalf of other people. Like, you look at all of the different things going on, right? And there's so many people who, like, could genuinely deserve to be canceled. And you guys are focusing on fucking Karl here, who years ago was on stream with somebody you deem problematic. And that's your focus? Like, I can't even imagine, like, that being a problem in my life. Like, imagine you're one of these people, right? And you're like, all right, I got out of bed today. You waddle to the fucking refrigerator and you get yourself a big bowl of 4-day chili that your mom made last week, right? You waddle back down to your basement computer, you piss in the bottle next to you, and you're like, who am I gonna cancel online today? Your mom yells at you from upstairs, when are you gonna get a job, honey? And you yell back, never, mom. And you're like, well, Karl was on a stream with Ice Poseidon 3 years ago. That could be something. Like, get the fuck over yourself, right? And what I really don't get about these people getting canceled, right, is it's like, how many of the people who are canceling you fucking watch you, right? Like, people who cancel people on Twitter are, like, if we're being honest, it's like 12-year-old kids, right? It's like, you know, the MCYT Twitter or whatever, right? Like, the kids on that shit, like, the stands, it's them, right? It's like preteens who would have been on Tumblr 4 years ago type shit. These aren't people who are fucking watching you. Like, if I got canceled tomorrow, quote unquote, okay, like, what's gonna happen? These people aren't watching me, so what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, I just don't understand why people keep bowing down to these people online who are perpetually upset by some dumb shit. Like, it's so clear that there's no actual issue here, that there's, like, no reason to be upset, but yet there's an apology. There's a 5-paragraph essay on what he did wrong when there was nothing wrong done. Like, imagine you get on there and you have to apologize because one time in a chat log recently you typed CX. Fucking picture. It literally could not be me, because you will never see me apologizing for some shit like that. But I don't know, this cancel culture thing is going way too far, man. They're going for anything and everything. People are just pathetic at this point, but I don't know. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just not dealing with this, and signing out.